What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. We're going to talk about some new disturbing trends that I'm seeing here about banks refusing to give out cash, ATMs stopping, refusing to give out cash. We're going to talk about that here in this video, as well as we're also starting to see, take a look here at this. This is all part of the larger picture here. Big US banks to post the largest rise in loan losses since the pandemic. Rising interest rates pile pressure on borrowers and commercial real estate loans losses mount. You could see here that the banks are in trouble, and this kind of is starting to go along with here all of this kind of scheming that banks are trying to do, digital currency that the Fed is announcing here. The Fed now, with the Fed, a lot of people are trying to think that the Fed is just trying to control all the money or as much of the money as possible here. I did a recent video here on the Fed now currency, and really they're just trying to it just seems like all the money is starting to move to digital, and it's an interesting theory because a lot of people they don't deal in cash anymore. You got to think, you go to the store, you use a debit card, you use a credit card, and there's not a lot of cash used anymore. And it's interesting because really everything is kind of tracked. It's tracked through your credit card, it's tracked through your debit card, and we're moving to a cashless society. And you could almost fast forward here to X amount of years in the future, and you could see cash going away. Cash going away. And it's interesting, and that's kind of the premises here of digital currency and the new Fed Now currency being used by the Fed that's actually rolling out here in July. They're starting it now, and it's kind of an instant transfer payment system by the Fed. And the Fed actually has trillions of dollars already underneath its umbrella here. And this is kind of a concern for a lot of people. It's saying, how much power does the government and does the banks have over the people? And it's how far is it overreaching? And it's kind of a concern here. And let me show you this trend happening here across the world. And people are getting a little bit concerned because they're seeing that they can't get their money out when they need it. Take a look here. Yeah, so I'll show you some of these headlines here. So, big bank ATMs withdrawal restrictions suggest that cash is no longer king. Fact check. Okay, here's another one. Australian bank stops handling cash at the counter in some branches, saying that we're literally not going to give you cash. Okay, it says, I'll zoom in here. The Australian and New Zealand banking group, ANZ Bank, has stopped handling cash over the counter at some branches, saying, quote, there are a small number of branches where we no longer handle cash at the counter. The spokesman for the 570 branch bank, which posted a Australian $8 billion profit last year, told the Register. At these branches, cash and check deposits and cash withdrawals can continue to be made by only using our smart ATM and coin deposit machines. And we have staff on hand to help customers that might be using them for the first time. They're saying that the reason for this is that the people, the Aussies, are using less cash. But then at the same time, we have here Australian banks, the big four banks in Australia are halting cash withdrawals for many branches, the big four. Okay. And a lot of times we see that what happens over in Australia and in Europe happens there first and then trickles over to America. And a lot of times it'll happen like in places like California first, and then we'll end up trickling over into a lot of other places in the rest of the United States. You can see here. The other sub headline here says the move comes as Australians continue to reduce their usage of cash and bank branches, but has sparked fears that the death of cash is near. Does this sound familiar? And is this a concern to you that you won't be able to get cash if you need it or when you need it? This is a little bit concerning. ANZ, one of Australia's big four banks, will cease facilitating withdrawals and deposits from a number of its Australian branches as it looks to push its customers towards using an ever dwindling number of ATMs and deposit machines. The decision has already received pushback with critics such as Patricia Sparrow, CEO of the Council of the Aging, telling the Australian that the change could disproportionately affect older people who are less capable of going digital. Others have suggested it would make fiat money users more susceptible to technical issues and even scams. The move has also renewed fears of the push to eliminate cash and that cash could soon be replaced by CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. Yeah. And you can see this tweet here. The end of cash is near. They are trying to go all digital and then bring in the CBDC, the central bank digital currency, to be programmable so they can control how you spend your money. I'm not saying this, you can see this right here. Eventually, they will be able to make your CBDC money expire or disallow certain products. And you can see another headline here from Daily Mail Australia. Major Australian bank to end cash withdrawals from its branches as the end of paper notes looms. Yeah. And of course, this is the exact same thing happening in the United States, happening in Europe. We're moving to a cashless society. Many people simply pay with their debit card, pay with their credit card. A lot of people don't use cash already. And this is the exact perfect excuse for the government to say, well, we're limiting cash. We're just going to simply take it off the table. We can then track you. We can then limit you. We can then introduce CBDCs, central bank digital currencies. The key word being digital currencies there. So you can let me know your thoughts on this and what might come there afterwards. You can only kind of think of yeah, I mean, this is the new age, the new era, and what the bank or the government can then do pretty much anything they want with your money because they would have control of it. Literally a push of a button, and it could be gone, it could expire, it could be moved. They could do anything they want with it. It's pretty scary. It's pretty shocking. Could let me know your thoughts in the comments, but at least you're hearing this. Yeah, it's a whole lot different than saying having the cash on you, right? Yeah. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here. If you haven't yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon. It's completely free to do so. I'll keep you up to date here with everything happening here in our country on a daily basis. Please make sure to hit the like button for us and share these videos with anybody that needs to see or hear this information. Click here to see curfews beginning around the entire United States and The Netherlands government just collapsed, and the US has the exact same problem. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.